One is regarding the border fence construction. We've been invited to attend weekly meetings with Kiewit Corporation. Kiewit is the private contractor that's constructing the fenced corridor project. And so State Parks has been represented every Friday morning at their weekly scheduling meetings, and it's actually been very, very good, very valuable.
Other public comment? Yes.
Yes. Once again, my name is Dan Watman, and once again, I'm a long-term resident of Tijuana, San Diego. And I come here today because I'm deeply concerned about the future of Friendship Park. I talked with Nathan Trotter here and Jim Pugh last week, and others, and we came up with a list of questions and concerns, and they're encompassed here in these 5 points. And this isn't that short, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, and like I said, it's a bunch of questions, so feel free to chime in, anyone from anywhere at any time. The first point is, what is the current status of the Kiewit design build contract? Has the final design been completed and approved? And if not, what level of design has been approved by DHS? And what is the next milestone in the review approval process? In addition, we'd like to know who is making the plans now for the design. Is it the Secure Border Initiative, the division of DHS, the contractor Kiewit, local border patrol? So that's point number one.
The status in the design build process is that my take, and Chris or Don or anybody chime in if I get this wrong, but my take is that their plans are final for the fenced corridor, but are not yet final for the portion of their project related to Friendship Marsh, but they're Friendship Park, or what we call Monument Mesa, but they're within moments of being finalized. I mean, I actually expected to see 100% drawings this week from them, and the reason for that difference is that they're moving right ahead on. They have basically two areas. They have Area 5 and Area 6. Area 5 being the fenced corridor as it goes across county land. Area 6, the fenced corridor as it goes across state park land. And Area 5 is moving, is started earlier, is further along. That's basically Smuggler's Gulch, etc. Right. Area 6 is playing catch up. My understanding is that their goal is to actually have both completed by the end of this calendar year. I don't know if they've given an update on the status of that.
You mean construction completed by the end of this calendar year?
Yes, that has been their goal. Is that?
May 9th, 2009 has been my
understanding. It's shifted to that.
Complete, yeah.
Okay. So.
But you expect the design plans to come out this week?
The rest of, yes.
Okay. And
what you see up there is a draft, and you could probably consider that pretty darn close to the plans for the fenced corridor.
Okay, and where can the public access that? I mean, besides coming here.
I don't know. Do you know if those plans are a public document such that they would be, available to the public to review?
You mean for further review?
Yeah, the Kiewit plans,
well, they're not
the actual
open to
construction
any
plans.
changes at this point because it's under construction.
I'm just.
Any questions anybody has about that or review would probably best be addressed to our Information and Communications Division.
Okay.
The number is 216-4182.
What's the number?
216-4182. 619 area.
619.
And it used to be our Public Information Office. They call it Communications Division now, but same thing. And there are people there assigned to answer questions about the project.
And you asked the question about who's actually preparing the design. It's a company called HMTB. It's a subcontractor.
So I would like to hesitate to send someone off to a phone number, and wondering if there's a possibility that we can sit down maybe in a smaller group to talk about how we can assure that there is access to Friendship Park, because I think that's what all these questions are going to lead to by the end of the day, is that there's a concern that the public can still access Friendship Park, be able to get to the border, and continue the dialogues and the events that occur there along Friendship Park. And there's a confusion, at least for me, maybe not for others, there's a confusion as to what is going to happen there in terms of being able to access the monument. And I'm more a visual person, I don't know about the rest of you, but if we could sit down with a map, look at some of the alternatives that have been talked about in the past, maybe some other alternatives that have been talked about since the ZIR was written, and try to dialogue like you're doing here on a way to make sure that your efforts and your objectives are being met, as well as the objectives of the public. Maybe we can come up with something to make sure that we still have the access to the monument. And I would feel comfortable if we could do that rather than sending them off to a phone number somewhere.
He had several questions.
Yeah.
But I was just referring to general questions about the project. He had several. He could get his answers.
Jim, the intent of INS and the Border Patrol is to continue to provide access to the monument itself, correct?
The INS doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
We're in the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay,
We're part of
sorry.
Customs and Border
Right.
Protection. And Clay and I were talking about this before the meeting. We need to discuss agency to agency how it's going to be administered. There is a pedestrian gate planned in the secondary fence to allow people.
Uh-huh.
That would be an open gate?
No, it's going to be closed, but it'll be open at times.
And to whom would one apply or appeal for?
That's what we don't, I mean, you're gonna have to, this is all
Sure.
moving quickly, it's a moving target,
Sure.
and you need to give us a chance to work out those protocols.
Sure.
The good news is there's a pedestrian gate.
Sure.
What's uncertain is what are the protocols, what's the procedures for the use of that gate. You understand that
Sure.
we have very different missions.
Sure.
They're building this fenced corridor for
Sure.
a reason, to make, more effective border security possible. And yet they have allowed for that access. It's just a matter of how is that going to be used? And we haven't had those discussions. So give us a chance, agency to agency, to run with that. And this probably would be the venue by which, after we have those discussions, there'll be a more public vetting of what that initial policy is. And it's very possible, my thinking, and I haven't, talked to Jim or Adon about this, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come up with an approach, and over the years that continues to change as circumstances